Hey, what's up, y'all? I hope everybody's doing good today. I wanted to speak with you today about counseling with a toxic person and why it's a bad idea and it's not going to benefit you at all. So, just to kind of set the stage and the backstory, I knew at that time it was kind of before I discovered truly what was going on, but I knew something was wrong in the relationship and I wanted to try to fix things and make things better. So I decided to try to get her to go to counseling with me. And I didn't think she was gonna want to, but she agreed. She just had like a condition or two, which was I think the only one the main one was that it had to be a woman counselor. I guess she was worried that a male would automatically take my side. So I agree. I say okay. And luckily, where I worked at the time has an EAP program, which is employee assistance program, where you get a certain amount of counseling sessions for free just built into your insurance. So I go online and I use their tool that they have to find a counselor, and I share it with her, and she agrees and says, "Okay, let's go." And when we would go, we would always take one car, which was also a mistake because afterwards, you can imagine how awkward it is to be in a car and be silent after talking for an hour about feelings and sharing things that pretty much just give the other person a leg up on how to abuse you best. And I say that because every single time after a session, I would feel worse than before we went. See, the thing about counseling with a toxic person is they can put on a good show. They have a theater where they can perform and seem like this good person, and the counselor thinks that it's a 50-50 issue when it's really not, because as well as I do, behind closed doors it's a completely different story. The mask is completely different behind closed doors as it is in public and around other people, depending on what mask they want other people to see. And I've said this before. I am not faultless. I did plenty of things wrong in this relationship. But the thing is, where I was willing to work on it and try to change things for the better to improve this relationship, she was um, completely unwilling to make any kind of changes. And as a matter of fact, it actually justified in her mind, I think, that it was okay, the things that I was being told, and how she treated me, and the different ways that I was abused, how they can twist things around to make themselves appear like a good person. Also, if I had said anything during counseling that she didn't like, you can bet that later on, somewhere down the line, she would bring it up and use it as ammo to further abuse you. You open up with her and with the counselor, and it ends up just backfiring because any time that you open up to a toxic person, instead of feeling it and actually validating it, they just use it as a way to manipulate you or to hurt you whenever they get pissed off and are having a bad day or whatever. Just to bring you down a notch or two down closer to their level. So needless to say, it didn't work out very well. It did not help one bit, like I said. And so after I think 6 or 7 sessions, I gave up. I said this is not working. It's obvious that it, it's a waste of time to go and not actually feel worse than whenever you went. I don't need help with that. There was days where I would I would call or text her, and we'd end up having an argument, and I'd feel way way worse than before I even talked to her that day. So it led to pretty much we wouldn't talk during the day because that was the only way I could avoid being, you know, abused. So after that, we actually went to a pastor at the church that she goes to try to go talk to them and see if it would be kind of a different light, because I am a Christian, and I thought maybe more of a biblical point of view as far as this goes, would be helpful. And you can see where this is going. It also didn't help. I'll say this too: there's no perfect relationship, and I didn't want it to be perfect. I knew at the time that something was not right, and like I said, being a Christian, I know there's no way that this is what is intended for me, and this is what a marriage should be like, or any relationship should be like. Pastor tried, but it was the same thing. He just made me feel kind of invalidated, and he justified her behavior and her actions and her words. At that point, I was completely perplexed and lost, and I realized there's nothing that's going to improve this relationship. It's pretty much not a relationship. It's all fake, and it's all just been a huge manipulation game for the entire relationship. It felt like waking up from a nightmare that you've been in for a really long time, or what seems like a long time, and then realizing that, I don't know, you're in the matrix, or and your entire existence has been a lie with this person. It felt like there was no way out, and there was nothing I could do to escape, and then I was stuck in this toxic, horrible relationship, and it was just I just accepted that I was completely screwed all the way around. So I just want to also say, I don't mean any of this to tell anybody what to do. I'm just giving you, from my perspective, what I think counseling does when you're with a toxic person. It really does not benefit you in any way, shape, or form. But the one positive thing about this is counseling, if you go by yourself, is great. Now, you may have to kind of sneak around to go to counseling, because if they find out that you're going to counseling without them, they're going to want to control that and make, guilt trip you and everything else that people like that love to do, because it's a way to control you, and they don't like when they don't have control. And by you going to counseling, you're regaining some of your power and some of yourself and your life, and they don't like that, because they want to be able to have the puppet strings and do with you what they will. I mean, to this day, I still go to counseling once a month. I highly recommend it. It really has helped me a lot in my healing recovery, and I think you should at least try it just to see. And the other thing about counseling is, if you go for a session and you just don't resonate, or you just don't click with the counselor, there's nothing wrong with thanking them for their time and then selecting another counselor. You have every right to pick a counselor that you are comfortable with. That's what it's all about, is you. I really hope you guys find this video helpful. And if you did, please do me a favor and hit the like button below, and make sure you subscribe for more helpful videos about toxic people. Y'all take it easy, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.